There we go. Hey everybody, Michael here. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. Loki says hello as well. A lot of stuff to talk about today. I think the big thing is really just going to be what's happening with the price of Bitcoin. It's had a small tumble. People are freaking out, I think, a little bit too much, but we'll have to see over the next few days, right? And then on top of that, what's going on with Gary Gensler? Is he actually going to be removed? And then possibly just going over some other news stuff. I wanted to talk to you guys about some political trades going on. And then we can kind of chat and go over some other news here. Now, before we do get started on the Bitcoin chart here, I do want to remind you guys that this stream is sponsored by Chart Prime. So go give them a look, please. They're a fantastic overlay service. I think you guys are going to enjoy them a lot. I know a couple of you guys have already been asking me for help on them, and I've been happy to help you guys out so far. Now, as far as I'm concerned today, let's kind of take a deeper dive here into what Bitcoin's been doing. I see Loki over here, and he's just like biting a whole bunch of stuff, so he may come back up and attack me in a second. But what's really happened over the last couple of days here is Bitcoin did a couple things here. As far as the daily chart's concerned, we're still not in too much of a pickle here. We could always have some type of reversal. This reversal would probably happen off of the 20-day moving average, though, where we might be looking at something more of a pick-me-up, where we bounce up like that, and then maybe we hit a double top. Again, we'll wait and see. But what I think people are looking for it now is just to make sure that this little trend line that we have going on, we don't break down below this. So if we decide to close down below the 20-day moving average today, to me, that would symbolize that we're probably going to be heading back down here towards $28,000, okay? Now, don't know what the heck that was, but what do you call it? Oh, T. But yeah, so that's really what I'm concerned about today. It's just not breaking down below the 20-day moving average and breaking this uptrend that we're currently in, because that's going to bring us back down. We have a few divergences occurring right now over the past few days. If you're going by this oscillator over here, the Chart Prime oscillator, we did have a divergence a while ago. Ultimately, we ended up having that big pop, though, which was kind of nice because the big boost going on with the dollar index continuing to fall. We'll talk about that here in a little bit more. But what actually ended up happening here over the last few days is the MACD is actually starting to have a crossover here. Now, this one is for my swing trading preset. So let me actually just open up a MACD here without all the extra fun stuff. Let's go to this one right here. There you go. Let's hide the swing trade one. And this one's already been having crossovers. But what I think is important for you guys to know right now, just as far as MACDs and how we all kind of use them, we are seeing a divergence where we're having lower highs over here on the MACD. And as far as the chart's concerned, we're actually seeing some higher highs, right? So I'm watching this closely because usually when we do have these divergences, the divergences will usually win out. I think the RSI was also having a divergence, so we're seeing some bearish signs creep up. We're going to have to hope that some of these earnings plays that are coming out over the next few weeks, they're going to actually be enough to keep Bitcoin up and keep the overall stock market up. Because before we go into everything else here, like the 4-hour charts, when you look at the stock market today, it started off okay. It kind of had a little bit of a mixed midday, I guess you would say. But by the end of the day here, everything was in the green. We had an okay day. I think the only thing that really spooked the market a little bit here was what was going on with Google, because it does have a large market cap. Basically, in case you guys don't know, it seems like one of Google's cell phone carriers, they might be moving over to use Bing search instead of Google search, okay? So if that is the case, they're probably going to lose a lot of search traffic, a lot of revenue through search ads and stuff like that. And that's the real big reason that we saw Google coming down today, okay? Now, they've already broken out. They are still in a breakout spot right now, but people are kind of worried about that possibly happening with Google. But that was enough for us to, get a little bit worried today as far as Google's stock price was concerned. Now, going back over to Bitcoin, you guys would have remembered that I told you guys to keep a close eye out for what was happening here on the 4-hour chart. Excuse me. 4-hour chart. Excuse me, guys. The 4-hour chart, when it came to that 20 moving average here and how normally I don't like it too much, you can see over here, once we started breaking down below it, things started getting a little bit wobbly, a little bit more consolidation, if you will. Same thing happening now. We started to break back down below it after the bounce off of it right there. And guess what? We're starting to get a little bit more choppy here. We are looking for this death cross to occur here. It has happened before. We're most likely headed into another consolidation period, and that's fine. One of the reasons I think it's fine for it now, hopefully this Gary Gensler stuff is cleared up, excuse me, is cleared up pretty quickly. But when we take a look at the NASDAQ, again, The NASDAQ, guys, is still going sideways. We're still looking fine. Now, we are getting closer and closer to the 20-day moving average creeping up on our butt, so to speak. And if we start breaking down below that, then I would have more concern about Bitcoin potentially coming down to $28,000 to $25,000. But until that breakdown happens here, I'm not too concerned. But again, the NASDAQ is at a level of resistance, and we are trying to break out. It has been difficult. It's been almost 2 weeks now, and we have not been able to break out above this, okay? A lot of sideways movement. As far as the Dow's concerned, the Dow Jones is breaking out here. It's been doing fine so far. It's managed to hold up over the last few days. Let me zoom in for you guys. This one's still going, golden cross inbound. You can definitely see this move up a little bit more. I'm a little bit more cautious about this one, just because I know we're going to have that next level of resistance up here, and that kind of matches up with this level of resistance. I think if you want to see the market kind of have another flying up moment, you just want to see the Dow kind of pop above 34,375, about like, 380, 390 bucks away, not too far away from the Dow, especially in this type of market environment. And then finally, we have the SPY over here. This thing already had its breakout a while ago. A few different breakouts here. You might consider that one the most recent one, I guess you would say. But again, also dealing with a level of resistance here that's causing a little bit more trouble. If we can break out there, everything's nice and dandy, but until that happens, we're going to continue to kind of have these feelings of, what's happening with the rate hike next month, that type of stuff. But Bitcoin, in my opinion, is still doing fine. We're just having one of these pearl bucks that we had a while ago. And just so you guys know, remember the last consolidation period that we had as far as Bitcoin's concerned, this consolidation lasted about 23 days, okay? Now, we'll see how big of a consolidation factor this is, really. But so far, we're still looking okay. This is still an opportunity for most of you guys to scale out of some of your swing trades. To me, this isn't technically a buying zone unless you're trying to buy maybe a bounce off of the 20-day moving average. This is still a scale out type of spot here for those of you guys that have been swing trading for swings, dollar cost average trading for swings, or those of you guys that have been just waiting for these smaller breakouts. You guys know me, I've still been day trading, haven't been doing much else. So we'll see how all this goes. And hey, Monica, did you do a change your character on Bitcoin short trade today? Also, what is your opinion on PayPal long-term options play? PayPal, that one's a little bit risky. As far as the change of character play today, I didn't take one yet. I'm waiting to see if we have a little bit more of a bounce tomorrow, but I am looking a little bit more bearish here. I'd probably be looking at something more of a 5x short on Bitcoin, probably aiming for 28,000, just $28,000 or so. And actually, what's the 200 here? Let's say 28,400 or something like that. So about $900 drop. That's what is that going to be about? Yeah, about 2-3% or so. But I didn't take one today. No, I've been doing more day trading here. It's been a little bit nicer for me. I woke up a little bit later in the day because I've been having trouble sleeping, so it hasn't been the best for me. So when these moves happened early morning, I was not awake to really test them out. The one thing here is just playing off these softer moves right here. It seems to be working off pretty well, especially when you look at this. Let's go over here very fast. 4-hour chart. Once we started giving up this support level over here of about 29,648, that would have been a nice entry position right there that I'd probably be more interested in. If we do take another pop back up, let's say we bounce off of that 20-day moving average here, if things don't look too good off that pop, I'd probably try to do that play. So when we have another breakdown like that or a downtrend, I'd probably try to target that one as of now, just because I missed the trade. But I would say it's a good trade. I'd have different stop losses there. Stop losses are probably going to be pretty generous, like around 30,357. But at least for now, as this thing looks to fall down, I might start scaling out around 29,000 or is it 28,900 or so. If we start breaking down from here, I might even double down on it as long as this 200 is broken as well. So maybe a double down here and then another double down if we break down below this 200 on the 4-hour chart specifically. And hey, hold your pause. Appreciate it. And hey, Nico, I sold out of 30,300. Michael, what do you think? Smart or not? I want to buy back in at lower prices. To me, that's what I would consider smart. I don't know exactly what your particular strategy was going to be as far as Bitcoin, but after this huge move, I think it's okay to scale out. I missed out on part of this rally in the first place. And so Like I sold a lot of my trades that I bought all through here, kind of around here and up here a little bit more here, but I didn't really sell much over here besides just a bit, like the last little crumbs of mine. So the fact that you got a really good price, I think that that's a pretty good sign right there. As far as buying back in, I would definitely be waiting before buying back in, just as we were talking to Monica there, or Dr. V. To me, I feel much more bearish about this. Not the catastrophe bearish that you might be hearing, but more of just like, hey, we're probably going to have a breakdown. We're going to go back into consolidation mode. During that consolidation mode, I can definitely see Bitcoin giving up some gains here. Now, if you guys want to get more optimistic and you guys want to start buying again, you just want to wait for the stock market overall to start getting those breakouts that we just talked about. Right now, everything is going sideways. It's just sideways, sideways, sideways. Very, very boring. But, sometimes it's just what we have to deal with here. If you guys go over here to CoinMarketCap, you guys can see over the last 7 days, Bitcoin's only down about 1.5%. Ethereum's up 8, BNB's up 6, XRP's down half, ADA's up 8.5, Dogecoin's up 7.5. Dogecoin's doing great this week. Polygon up 3, Solana up 15. Altcoins are still doing very well. I think what's happening a little bit right now is you're just starting to see, as we've been talking about the Bitcoin dominance is kind of pulling back just a little bit, and you're seeing some altcoins continue to rise. Remember how we were talking about that ID token, and I sold off my leverage position at 68 cents? Well, this thing ended up running all the way past $1 here, which was absolutely insane. Now, this is a newer coin, so I don't usually play around with these too much, right? But I was happy enough to kind of sell right here. No, she's right way, way over here. And then you can see how much further this bad boy ran. This thing is still hitting new highs here. So there is some, maybe if I were to pull up the, why can't I find it here? Hold on a second here, guys. There you go. Okay. Forgot the little point. You seeing Bitcoin dominance right now? This is a percentage standpoint, but you get the point. We are hitting a level of support here after having these nice big moves over the last few days. If we start to plummet a little bit more here, I would actually expect Bitcoin to start coming back down. And really what you're looking at here again is that death cross incoming over the next few days. Okay. Week or so, right? But Bitcoin dominance. Looking at this bad boy. I mean, yeah, we can go to the weekly chart here. We don't normally look at this chart. It's not one of my favorites, but it works. You can kind of see how we're at this level of resistance right now, but last week we were like breaking out of it. As we're kind of getting rejected right now, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. So maybe for an example here, let's get this Bitcoin chart over here very fast. Let's go to the weekly, just like this chart's at the weekly. Let's get rid of the RSI. Okay, so here's Bitcoin. This right here was Monday, June 13th. Oh, I'm way in the past, geez. There you go. Oh, I don't want to do that, do I? Add a little dollar sign. There you go. This big capitulation moment right there. That happened following it, right? So, and let's go back a little bit more. Had another rejection, kind of like a zone of rejection, if you will, over here about October 18th. What am I looking for here? Oh, that's 2021. Geez, I haven't done this in a while. 28th, I think it was over here. That wasn't too bad, right? I guess it wasn't rejected, but yeah, right? So a small move down, but nothing too crazy here. I guess that was all-time highs that when altcoins were having their big boost. But so far, you know, I think we're fine. This was a big event as far as capitulation. This up here was altcoin season. You know, I don't think we're in a terrible spot, like I said before. Let me get rid of that, though. One other thing, though. Just understand that over time, this thing is only going to go down as more altcoins pop up on the market. I think eventually, maybe it happens in 2024 or something like this. Again, we'll have to wait and see. I do think there's something going to happen where we do make some new lows here as far as Bitcoin dominance, where you see new altcoins come onto the market, and then we have another Dogecoin type of effect where things start to go sky high, right? So keeping an eye on it, but we're kind of just trading in this channel right now. Not the craziest thing, but you might see altcoins definitely gain against Bitcoin. Hopefully that means that altcoins are going up and Bitcoin staying steady. Sometimes it does mean that Bitcoin's coming down and altcoins are staying steady. We saw some of this actually happening over the past few weeks, right? Where we saw Bitcoin moving up and up and up, but we were wondering why aren't the altcoins moving? And that's because the altcoins were moving before that big move occurred with Bitcoin. And there you go. You can see Bitcoin breaking down from there as well. Also making some smaller moves down. Again, we'll watch and see how we hold up against this support level here. Maybe if I make this a little bit more precise for you guys. Let's just extend this to make my life a little bit easier. So I can have a midpoint. There you go. So as Bitcoin heads down towards support, we'll see if it can hold or not. And remember, guys, if I were to add maybe the 20 and just make this here, I guess I want to just use the 4-hour 20. No, I need to use the daily 20, don't I? There you go. That's really the support level. We don't want to close down below, but it's okay if we break down below it for a while, as long as by the end of today or end of the candle, we're actually the daily candle, we're actually still above this right now. So this is going to be the big point. We're going to see a lot of people start to buy in probably within this zone. You're going to see a lot more people more willing to buy in off of some type of bounce play. Would I do it? Yeah, sure, why not? But I would still have more faith that we're going to be breaking down over the next few days, regardless of what a bounce does in the short amount of time, okay? But I'll put that on there, but I'll take off put this back to the chart. So if you guys want to do anything with this, just make sure you guys understand that we are looking at that death cross coming in. And I won't say it's going to lead to a major crash, but we are going to be looking at some more choppier waters. But again, we just had a bunch of choppy waters over here. It wasn't so bad, right? Let's get rid of that line right there, though, very fast. Pop that back over here. Oh, yeah. You could even see the oscillator showing some support right now, and I think that's probably because some of those moving averages. You got some institutional buyers. You got a little bit of a buy signal here on the short term. Yeah, that's not terrible. All right. Let's go back over to the 50-minute chart, though. There we go. Okay. We clear $418. It's no bear market, in my opinion. Oh, no more bear market. No more bear market. I get what you're saying. Hey, Mike, I'm trading Blur. I feel like Bitcoin goes up. It's going to explode. Today, I took a profit at 77. What do you think? Bitcoin goes up. It's going to explode. Today at 77, what? Like 77 cents or $77? I don't know what number with Bitcoin went to 77. I mean, as long as you're making profit, you should be happy with yourself. At this point, again, I've switched over into complete day trading mode. I've been doing some swing trades here off of change of characters. Monica was just talking about one right there. That change of character is definitely something that I'd recommend looking into if you want to do something more of a longer term bearish trade. But, you know, plan it out, and I wouldn't put too much leverage into it right now because sometimes, especially over the last few weeks, when we've been having these change of characters, a lot of times they look pretty bearish because there's some type of big events going on. And then all of a sudden we get the flipperoo, then boom, they start booming up out of nowhere. I think a really big one was coming into the banking crisis that we were watching a few weeks ago, which still is it's better, but it's not fixed all the way, right? It's not where we want it to be, I would say. There you go. And always hold your pause. Can you take a look at Diaphius mainly? I was wondering why the prices are so different from one exchange to another on altcoins. I don't know why that. So usually what happens is if they're on different exchanges, sometimes the exchanges don't follow each other, and I don't know why that is. There's probably, it's like they're not communicating. I think there's some type of generalized communication network between exchanges, so the price kind of fluctuates. Sometimes exchanges aren't part of that, or maybe something has happened in the other exchange that moves the price up so fast. But usually, the price I would trust is the Binance chart. So if you're seeing one that's like very different fluctuations, I would say the first reason is probably because it's not connected in that network. Like you see KuCoin, Binance, stuff like that, usually have a pretty good network of when one price goes up, the other price goes up, right? Pretty similar. Or it's that they're two separate coins, which doesn't happen too often, but sometimes you can see there's like 5 different coins that all have the same name. Sometimes they're just on there. But I don't know what the ticker is for this token, so let me search it up for you very fast. Diaphius, DYP, especially if it's very, oh yeah, it's only $3 million market cap. A small market cap like that is going to have issues no matter what exchange it's on. Usually you can't even get second tickers because the price is all over the place. Let me see. Yeah, it's on KuCoin, Coinbase. What else do we have here? PancakeSwap, Gate.io, Huobi, Mexi, Poloniex. Yeah, it's going to be hard for a very, very small market cap play like that to do anything. And I can see right here, you're talking about it right now. Coinbase 0.268, KuCoin 0.266. I would trust these ones over the ones over here like PancakeSwap, and even Mexi right here. Yeah, I would trust these ones over these other ones. Okay, now I don't know why the price is different from like a technical level, but I would say I'd be trusting the KuCoin and Coinbase price. Hopefully they can get that fixed up, but it seems like the market cap is just so small that they may need some time to fix up as far as Mexi's perspective. Because I'm thinking maybe somebody was loading up on it and Mexi and it just like uprooted the price all the way. Ooh. On a smaller exchange like a Mexi, somebody like, that has a couple 100,000, they can be a whale over there. While maybe somebody with a couple 100,000 isn't necessarily a whale on Binance, if that makes sense, especially with the leverages and stuff they have. See, and hey, Alan, I'm happy to see you back. I am in Solana long from 23.5 since 4 days. What should I do now? Well, that depends on what your stop loss is at, and that also depends on where your price target is at, really. As far as Solana is concerned, though, I can do some technical analysis, but if you trade, you have to have a stop loss and you have to have a price target. One of those two things is going to trigger, and that determines whether you lose money or take money. But at least when you have both of those on a trade, you know the maximum amount you're going to lose, and you know the maximum amount you're going to profit, or the minimum amount you're going to profit, hopefully, right? But let's see, I don't know where my Solana is here. Chrome. There's Solana. And you said you're in from 23.5. So you still have a profit. You have an opportunity to sell for a profit right now, but that's up to you. I'm a guy that's still saying this is scale out zone. So if you just want to take a little bit out, you can definitely do that. But you already had to change a character here that ended up popping off, which was fine. You had to change a character over here that popped off, which is fine. What I see at this point to me is, well, let me just draw the box. I think for now this is fair enough. You've gone into that resistance zone up here, and you're just getting rejected from it in the short term. Now, you could hope that the price continues to move up and we break out above this, or you can sell it. It's really up to you. It's all up to your price target. What was your price target when you bought? What's your stop loss when you bought? If you you have a profit right now, so what you can do is maybe you say if it goes down to $24, maybe I sell it. You can have a stop loss there, because right now, if you guys look on this 15-minute chart, you can clearly see this downtrend occurring, right? Simple downtrend, doesn't look like it's going to break out anytime soon. Maybe you want to scale it a little bit there to make sure you're still walking away with that 50 cents per coin profit. Yeah, so it's really up to what you wanted to do before you made the trade. Before you guys make any trade, you guys need to have a stop loss in your head and a price target in your head so you have an idea of where you're going. If you don't have those, it's going to be very hard to make consistent profits on these types of trades. Let's see. Oh, so if you moved your stop loss up to entry, then you're probably just going to wait even for a while, but you're still going to know that you're not going to be making you're not going to be losing more than the money you put in there. So if you want to move your stop loss up even higher because Bitcoin's starting to turn over right now, you can do that. Otherwise, if you want to have a price target of 27, that's really at the higher end up here after a full breakout, which could happen. But at this point, it seems a little bit like you might have to wait a few more days for consolidation, then the bounce back up. 4-hour chart, you're already breaking down below the 20 over here. Doesn't seem to be too big. Doesn't seem to be too big of an issue. However, you are starting to see this opportunity for a death cross occurring over here between the 20 and the 50. Last time that occurred was over here after a big move. After a big move over here, it really does signal sometimes a pretty dramatic drop. So I'd be watching it. We didn't have death cross there. Death cross there. That one didn't lead to a bad move. So it's not all the time. But I would just say as long as your stop loss is moving up, you're fine. I'd probably move it up to $24 just in case, because Bitcoin doesn't look the best for the next few days here as it's starting to fall off a cliff here too. And Bitcoin's also looking at this death cross right here, which is probably going to move it back down. Again, just to like 28,500 or something like that. But that's enough to probably make a lot of altcoins freak out as well, right? Let's see. How do I know when to book profits? It's up to wherever you think that level of resistance is. When you looked at Solana, and you were choosing 26, 27, or 27, 28, I forget which one it was. Where's Solana on here? Drag this out a little bit more. Okay, I'm just gonna type it. I have a really hard time finding Solana on this chart. Everything but Solana pops up in my head. All right. There we go. You're looking probably at this level of resistance up here, right? So level of resistance up there. That particular level, it was just about 26.65, right? And then at the higher end of that level, right up here, it's like around 27 or 8. So that's probably what you were looking for a level of resistance. It's not bad. It's just sometimes the trades don't work out. You're just going to have to live with it. But at least because it has gone in your way and you're already technically in the green here, you have an unrealized profit, I would say. What you're hoping for here is that it makes a turnaround before you actually hit that stop loss, which is your current opening price, right? So you're either going to try to sell right now for a confirmed profit or hold on a little bit longer to see what happens, right? So normally in these situations, I would have sold already, but that's just because of, let me see, get this out of here. Well, there's a few different ways you can do it, I would say. Let's just go for the easy one. This is the first one. A smaller one, probably most people won't be using this one here. Maybe if I actually adjust this a little bit more, will that do anything for us? No, it's not going to be too much of a difference here. Just makes it a little bit shorter. Most of the time when I do this, I usually try to sell around the 1 zone. That's just me. But this is a bigger move, so most people probably missed that little smaller thing right there. Otherwise, you might have been looking for something more of a drastic move, like from here to here. And this situation actually popped up a little bit higher, but you're still hitting those zones. And that next zone is around 26.72. So that's what you'd be looking for. If we kind of go over here, though, and let's just go to the 1-hour chart. Actually, there's a couple ways we can do this. First one might be over here. Let me actually correct this so the line's a little bit thicker. There we go. All right, so far since this has happened, stopping now. So, you might see that next stop around 23.65 if this continues on. But the way it looks like we're about to have 2 crossovers with a 50 and the 20 on the 1-hour chart. It's about to cross over downwards. Hopefully there's something that could really keep us above this 23.65 level. At this point, it doesn't seem like there's much there because we are in this nasty downtrend here. And we're making new low, and lower highs and lower highs. Let's get rid of this one right here as well. There you go. You can see the same thing with Bitcoin, though. Bitcoin's breaking down, death crosses occurring, trying to hold above the 200, the 20-day moving average, on the daily chart, right? there, right? Trying to hold on top of that. And if we can, then we see that nice little pop right there. Maybe we have a double top. Maybe we have another way of consolidating. See right there, like, and then we have a trend line, and then we break out sometime next week, right? And the way Bitcoin's going, we're still looking okay. I think what has people more concerned, to be frank, again, is just some of those divergences as far as Bitcoin's been concerned. So, why do I keep deleting my indicators for some reason? Oh no, I don't. Okay, whatever. There we go. Let's get rid of the chart pattern. Yeah, chart pattern. We don't know for now. 4-hour chart. We had a divergence here. This was Thursday. That's the last time I really had the divergence load according to the chart prime oscillators. But I mean, you could always go to the MACD and stuff like this. Let's shrink this down very fast. Right. Open that up so I can see the settings. Oh, okay, it's right there. Okay, whatever. You see how we had the MACD crossover right here? That was all the way back over here back in April. But what's happening now is we're starting to have these lower highs over here while the price of Bitcoin was having these higher highs. That divergence usually goes in the way of the oscillator, whether it's a MACD, a chart prime oscillator, an RSI indicator. It usually goes without stochastic. I think I can pull up a stochastic here. That's the MACD, that's the RSI. Yeah, and this one had a crossover a while ago. This crossover occurred the 15th of April, which is 2 days ago, it looks like. But let me just bring up the stochastic. I want to make sure you guys can see this here. Let's shrink this one, Now this isn't set up for swing trading, but basically you can see how we were slowing down and we had lower high, lower high, lower high, and just now we're really starting to see the effect of that. That divergence is what's happening right now. That's what's causing people to have a little more concern. Now, we've had divergences before, but we've been able to kind of overcome them. Maybe we'll be able to overcome it, but usually it's like there's a period of consolidation during that time zone or to that time frame. Let's X out this one. Let's put up the oscillator again so we can just have that in there. Auto fit data. There we go. And just hoping that Bitcoin can really have that nice solid bounce that we're hoping for. And hey, Bambucha, manipulation. There are people with magic hands. Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of manipulation. I think one of the things today was the news from Gary Gensler. There's also, let me see if I can fill this out right here. There was some news today as far as the cryptocurrency regulation front. Now, I don't know what chance this has to be passed, but I did think it was pretty interesting here. Representative Davidson is to introduce legislation to fire SEC boss Gensler for crypto overreach. Now, there are pro-crypto legislators and there's like anti-crypto legislators. They kind of have all their own personal interest in this fight, in this, dogfight, so to speak. But I thought this was a pretty interesting article. And he had a tweet. And this tweet, let's click on it so we can see right there. This right here so you can see my private conversations about Panama. He says, yep, to correct a long series of abuses, I am introducing legislation that removes the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission and replaces the role with an executive director that reports to the board where authority resides. Formal chairs of the SEC are ineligible. That'll be kind of nice. I would like to see that happen, but I don't know if the system is actually going to approve that, because I think we all know that Gary Gensler has just not, he's been very inconsistent, and that inconsistency has been worrying a lot of people because it feels like he's targeting one type of cryptocurrencies and not the other when they're both following the same set of rules, but he doesn't understand how to make the rules properly. And on top of that, I think there was a I guess he was promoting Algorand. I'm just not entirely sure about the story. Like, I know it's a true thing, but it's been weird to kind of figure out what's going on here. But it says, the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Gary Gensler, has been caught promoting Algorand. Critics are calling him a hypocrite. Footage has emerged of Gary Gensler, chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, promoting the cryptocurrency Algorand, Algo. Gensler, SEC since 2021, the SEC chair since 2020, excuse me, is spearheading a regulatory crackdown on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. At one point in the clip, Gary Gensler speaks highly of the Italian computer scientist Silvio Macaulay, the project's founder. Silvio Macaulay's Algorand. He's touring award winner at the MIT I work with. Silvio's got great technology. Its performance, you could create Uber on top of it. Moreover, Gary Gensler appears to have been speaking highly of Algorand at multiple public events since at least 2019. Okay, I'm sorry I started through some of those words. My throat kind of hurts here, but it seems like this guy, shady piece of you know what. All right, so it'd be nice to see him get kicked out of there. I don't think anybody really wants him in there. I don't think people can say he's done a very good job with it. I think he's found a new life meaning when it comes to cryptocurrency and going after them. And you've seen maybe a resurgence of his happiness, perhaps. But he just wasn't very relevant for cryptocurrency because he just didn't know how to use the levers of government. And at this point, he still is having issues with this. There's lots of long, drawn-out court cases, very, very long ones, and Coinbase is about to go to bat with them up here over the next few months, and that's going to take years of litigation. And by the time it's over, I'm hoping we have another SEC chair in there that kind of makes things a little bit better. Because over the last few days, I've been trying to figure out who would be more pro crypto versus anti crypto. So I've been looking at a lot of these lawmakers and what they're actually buying as far as stocks and assets and stuff like that. Now Daniel, this guy's been making a whole bunch of moves here. Most of these are not what you might call like shares you buy lower, sell higher. They're kind of investments and they pay out a premium over time. That's usually the responsible way to trade. But you can see some smaller ones in here. Like everything I'm looking at also is a minimum of $100,000. Congressmen and women do make trades of under $50,000, under $100,000, but it's not usually worth looking at because the powerful ones don't do that. The powerful ones have a lot more capital to kind of move around the market, especially the spouses, like Nancy Pelosi, right? But what do you call? You can see he sold some Commonwealth, Bank of Australia, Bristol Myers Squibb. Go over here. I think you probably get more Republicans. Yeah, Mike Kelly over here, but that's straight transportation. Formula One group right there. Not really much going on. I think the politicians are kind of calling it ConocoPhillips by Michael McCall. This was a good one from last month. Their spouse did it though. But you're starting to see a little bit of a slowdown from activity from what do you want to call them, politicians. I have a feeling that they're just not going to be doing too much here until the economy kind of settles down a little bit. Because I'm looking at all these. Here's a few of buy and sells. Fidelity, FedEx Corp. This is Michael McCall. He is on CNN. I think he is. I think this guy is on there. Yeah, this guy's on CNN a whole bunch, and this guy makes a lot of trades over here. Might be somebody to kind of follow if you can, but the trades are like the trades are published like a month afterwards, so it's not really much good you can do. But this guy usually goes into a lot of stuff. Look at the volume of this thing. Volume of $137 million. Somebody to watch right there. Daniel Goodman, again, not really much there because it's not stock market and stuff like that. But I'd keep track of what your politicians are buying. Josh Gottheimer bought a bunch of Microsoft here in February. This guy is a really big, what do you call? He's a Democrat, gets from New Jersey. But I think he's on CNN too. Something about CNN spokespeople or the politicians that go on CNN, they trade a lot. They have the inroads, I guess you might say there, right? But this website is called Capital Trades if you guys want to check it out. They have a few tweets and stuff they go over. They kind of show you guys where all the money is flowing in from. California, Texas, Tennessee, a lot of money coming from those three states. To be frank, though, it's really just California and Texas. Those are the two big hotbeds. Florida's not too much. New York's not too much. So it's interesting to kind of see what's going on here over the past few last few months, at least, I would say, for some of these trades. But if you want to follow what your local politician is doing, you can go over here as well, searching your local politician, or go by committees, or go by states, and then you can see how many trades. Like, what's it here? Environment and public works, that's a whole bunch of trades going in there. Health, education, labor, and pensions, a lot of stuff going in there. And that's all from Tommy Tuberville. Loading up on a lot of stuff. Buying some Barrett gold back last year. Actually, not too much in the recent days. A lot of this is December last year, so that's not too bad. Budget. This is all state stuff. This isn't bad at all. Rules and administration. Huh. Intelligence, foreign relations. Intelligence, that's not a bad one to go to. Roy Blunt, Kraft Heinz. This is back in 2023. December 23rd of 2022. Sorry, guys. Some of this. So that's a little bit more, I would say, dramatic here. Adobe, Agnes King. He's an independent, but he caucuses with Democrats. I don't really see him on TV too much, though. Let's see. So Bitcoin to 1 million? Not anytime soon, but I hope one day. That would make a lot of us pretty happy, I would say, right? Can I analyze AAVE? If only Bitcoin was still going strong, this one would have had a really nice breakout, probably over $100. So at this point, you did see it break out above that 50-week moving average here after hugging the 20-week moving average. You can see how close that hug was there, a little bit too close, if you ask me. There we go. So you're in this nice uptrend right now after, I think, having a pretty solid breakout there. The breakout failed though, yeah. So what are you gonna do now? So probably gonna something like that. There you go. Yeah, you still had a decent breakout. You're still having these higher lows, which is pretty good. The higher highs has been iffy at best, but at least within the last few weeks, 2 weeks or so, you have had those higher highs. I wouldn't be looking to buy right now. I'd probably be looking to buy somewhere if we come into contact with that 20-day moving average, probably around the $78 level. Looking at the oscillator here, you're not looking at the best of signs here, looking at some resistance levels. But I mean, that kind of makes sense when you consider, we are having a little bit of a pullback here. As far as the MACD, you saw that crossover. You wouldn't expect much bearish stuff to happen here probably until sometime this weekend. Let's go over here to the 4-hour chart though. 4-hour chart definitely looks a little bit bearish in the short term here. I'd probably, oh yeah, it's about to break down below this. 78, 76 probably is going to be a good opportunity unless you want to wait for it to come all the way back down here. But if you're looking for day trades, 78, 76 isn't going to be bad. If you're looking for something more of a swing trade where you can hold for multiple days, I'd probably say actually you probably best just waiting over here to $75. I'm looking at everything coming down. Let's see right here. Yeah, not the best. I would say definitely a little bit more bearish here. Let me move this down. Let me move this down as well. Pop up the 1-hour chart. Yeah, this is actually looking a lot like Bitcoin, frankly. But you're just breaking down below the support levels right now, and those support levels are causing some issues for us as we start to see this new cycle of lower highs. Jesus, everywhere I click is going, but except for the thing. Okay, probably gonna have another one over here sometime. Then probably break back down. You're probably going to be looking to do more shorting here than long at this point, but the shorting would probably only be probably to $75 at most, probably 76, 77. Let's go back over here very fast though. Just there you go. Yeah, maybe you can just do a little bit of a stop around $76. If you do take that short, it would probably be a shortly lived, excuse me. But keep an eye out for some of these other ones right there. Like this one. You might see that bounce up happening somewhere around the higher 78s if it doesn't want to honor this one right there where you have a little more wiggle room, right? A lot more wiggle room on this one. I wouldn't be surprised if we start breaking down here and then breaking down below the 20, testing out around 76, consolidating for a little bit of time, and then we'll see which way it goes then. Really, it's about Bitcoin having that next leg up to 32,000, 33,000. That's what you want to see if you want to get back into this. But at this point, again, that next level of resistance is really just up here around $93 from where you are now. That's a solid 16%. That's a pretty good move. I guess the lower end of that, you're probably looking at about 10%. Not terrible, but once you come back down here, that's 15%. Once you come back down here, that's 20%. You're probably just going to have a stop loss if you do want to enter, probably around $74 or so if you want to go buy in, and that buy in would occur off of one of the one of these type of bounce plays here. There you go. And at least Bitcoin's trying to have a little bit more of a resurgence right now. Oh, and hey, Max Power, happy to see you back. And hey, Larry Summers, Berkshire and the Daily Journal did wonderful. That's good to see, especially for the overall market, right? Do I see Doge getting back to 15 cents anytime soon? I mean, not unless Elon Musk does something really grand with Twitter or Dogecoin again. Those announcements have really been key for seeing Dogecoin go higher and higher and higher. I don't know if there's any news that could really get Dogecoin up within one day up to 15 cents. That'd be a pretty big ask, but maybe within a month or 2 months of really good news continue to compound, which would take us up to 12 cents, then 14 cents, then probably up to 16, 18 cents. I think that's that next level of resistance afterwards. That would need a lot of good news there, and I don't know how much good news Elon has left, because we've had the eToro news, we've heard all the Dogecoin news, and the changing of the logos and stuff for a while. But he's going to need to do something else to really keep people buying Dogecoin, because it is such an inflationary token, right? Let's see. And hey, James, what's up with gold and Ethereum? Are they looking good to buy in nows? Day trading? I don't know too much about gold. As far as Ethereum, if you're buying it, it's because you're buying that bounce there. You're not necessarily buying the for the swing for the midterm, because everything is starting to turn over a little bit more bearish. But if you are looking for a little bit more of a day trade, I'd probably just wait until Bitcoin does hit that 20-day moving average and you finally have some support. Or for Ethereum specifically, if there is some type of bounce happening on the 4-hour chart. No, that support isn't even until $2,000 on the daily. That's not even until 1930 here. So you're still well away from any real big support level from Ethereum. Maybe you might see Bitcoin dip to 28,700. That might bring Ethereum back down to 1930, or all the way back down here just to 2,000 or so. That's when I'd be more likely to take that big bite there. Otherwise, if you're looking to do Ethereum, you're probably going to look to buy as soon as you hit this support level over here around 20,042. That's your first buying opportunity if you want to take it. More of a day trade, yeah. I'd probably hesitate a little bit myself, but that's just because I want to see if I can get one of these moving averages. Usually those have been working out a little bit better. Because when we go over here and look at the dollar index, which we've talked about for a while now. Just kind of pull this to the side. You can see how we're starting to consolidate a little bit more. We don't want to see this thing start going back up. If this thing starts going back up, that's really not good for the stock market and the crypto market, because the dollar becomes stronger. Everything starts to tank afterwards, and we don't want to see that tank happening right now. Would not be bueno, right? So careful with it, but I would still say for day trading, I think you're in an okay spot. Just let it pull back a little bit, most likely. There we go. And hey, Tony, we're having a mini gas crisis in South Florida. Damn storms flooded the trucking lanes for fuel. Oh, yeah, I heard about those storms and what was happening at the airports down there. We had a bunch of rain here today and the last few days. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to stream today because my lights were flickering. My lights are flickering through the part of the day. But hopefully that isn't it's not going to be a nationwide issue there. But if there's a gas crisis going on anywhere, it always leads to a little bit of chaos and, people needing to rush everywhere to find the bit of fuel. I think the other big things happening in the news this week has been Walmart shutting down a lot of stores in really troubled black neighborhoods. I don't know how many of my people can be saved, guys. Every time I watch one of those videos, I'm just like, I give up on you. I renounce thee. I'm chilling out by myself, and I'm gonna take care of my own people, like my family, and the rest of you. I'm gonna chill out. I know. Yeah, I think that's the only real big news I remember hearing over the past few days is just that, how much chaos is going on in Chicago. And hey, Edwin, what's up, homie? Who's going? What do you think about Sheeb? Right now, I think again, like everything is pretty much like short-term bearish in my eyes as far as what I see over the next few days as we start to see all these crossovers happen, all these divergences happening. But as far as Shiba is concerned, Shiba's pretty interesting over the last few days. You can see right here, because normally Dogecoin usually kind of guides Shiba in some way because they've been following each other for so long. But Shiba's just kind of been staying steady. Sheeb might be a dark horse candidate for a sudden pop off here if that's what you want to do. It might be fun to have some type of leveraged long on it for like a 10x leveraged long with a price target of up here of like basically 1301 is the last 4 digits here. That might be kind of fun. That would be a profit of about 14%. I could see some type of move like that happening. That's what I'd be looking for from a dark horse candidate. Just because it never really had that pop off. And then your stop loss would probably be something around here as far as that support. But this thing has not been popping off as much as you would think with Dogecoin having the strong moves that it's been having, right? We'll see what happens here. Just be careful. Whenever this thing does have its breakdowns, they're pretty brutal, right? The breakdowns are usually not the time to be buying in. But until then, I'm kind of hoping we have another pop here. I would love to see another big move up, another 14% as far as SHIB, especially because Dogecoin is still relatively doing well. You go over here for the last few days of Dogecoin, we are still in a very good spot, right? We're in a very, very good spot. We got rejected off here a couple weeks ago, and that's really our next level of resistance up here around 10.5 cents. I'd probably say we're not going to hit that level again unless Elon Musk does something. We're probably going to have a lower high situation where we have that confirmation, and then we start that downtrend again until we break out sometime over the next week or so, right? Because Dogecoin's not out just yet here. And the pullback on the dollar index looking strong. What do you call? Hey man, hope we're doing well. I mean, I hope we can continue to break down as far as the dollar index is concerned. If not, you're going to see those. You're going to see people start to panic just a little bit more. But guys, I think we're pretty much towards the end of the cycle as far as rate hikes. I don't know what else the government, Jerome Powell, can do to try to fix inflation. He can't keep on raising rates indefinitely. I wish he was more aggressive with it at the beginning, but it seems like he's kind of just content to probably do another 25 basis point rate hike, and that'll be the end of it. And after that's the end of it, you're probably going to see bonds start to come back down, the dollar and value start to come back down, and you're probably going to see another move upwards from the crypto and stock markets here, unless the economy starts getting worse. At this point, you're still seeing signs, but it hasn't broken yet. And until it breaks, people are going to keep on believing that there's no way the economy could ever have a big move down, right? Every time you look on CNBC and stuff like that, they're talking about how this is a straight bull market. We're not going to go back down to the October lows. We're not even going to entertain that type of scenario. And how even if we do go into recession, it's not going to be so bad. So the stock market's not going to be hurt bad. So, I think that panic sets in really for the entire market is just really once we start to have those concrete news announcements that kind of saying that, hey, lots of layoffs happening, stuff like that. I think the big news here is, it was 3 days ago, I think it was, my sister, she got her prom dress from Dave's Bridal. So Dave's Bridal is, it's a place for girls to get dresses, right? Yeah. So a nice place to get dresses. I think they come in all different prices and stuff like this. So I don't think they're like the bougie upscale ones you're going to see in Seattle, but they do have multi-$1,000 dresses. But yeah, 50% off prom dresses right here, right? So my sister got her prom dress here, but I was reminding her that Dave's Bridal, which, again, like a lot of the different dresses here, all different types of dresses, $200 dresses, something like that. I think my sister's cost like $300. But what do you call, you actually search Dave's Bridal, go to the news section, filing Chapter 11. That's the type of news that makes me a little bit more worried. You're starting to see more chaos, more uncertainty, stuff like that happening. CNN put out an article, 1 in 4 brides wear David's bridal to their wedding, right? Now they're not going to be able to do that. So it's gonna be iffy. Definitely going to be iffy. I'm hoping though that today, guys, Bitcoin just kind of stays in this kind of mellow zone that we're seeing, and then tomorrow we have that rebound. That'd be the best case scenario, because then we could at least hope for a double top or some type of breakout, right? Who knows? But we don't want to be seen breaking down below this 20-day moving average. That's where the catastrophe is really going to lie for us. But we still have some more room to kind of make our way down. That's probably where I'd be looking to buy long on Bitcoin though, okay? Do I reinvest all my dividends, spend them on different companies, or go shopping? I don't go shopping with them. I usually just reinvest them. Usually I try to reinvest them until I hit a certain amount, which takes months and like quarters and quarters and quarters. But once you hit that limit, normally you just kind of find something else to invest in. Or you tend to just hold it in cash form, right? Sometimes I do that. I've been looking at all different types of properties in Nicaragua and kind of how I can afford it, what I want to spend on cash, what do I want to finance through some of the banks over here, or what do I want to do as far as financing in banks in Nicaragua. And I've been realizing that since some of my dividends, I better just start pulling off a portion of my oil dividends and just putting them over to the side here, just so I have some excess capital to work with, because I don't know if there's any fees and stuff like that. So I just want to be okay with it without having to go into my normal budget, right? But most of the time, the safe thing to do is just to reinvest them, reinvest, or make a new pot of money, then use those to invest in a whole new ETF. I think that's more fun personally, but sometimes you have a thing that works, so why mess it up? It's really how interactive do you want to be when it comes to actually investing in those dividends. Like for me right now, I was trying to figure out how much these houses cost, but I think they're probably out of my price range because they're not even telling me how much the price of the house costs. But I was looking for golf courses in Nicaragua. Is this the best one? No, let's go over here real fast. There's a specific name that I was looking for here. No, that's not those aren't good golf courses. No. I forget the name of the golf course. Maybe it is Napa. I don't know. No, it was something a little more whatever. But when I'm looking at all this stuff of how to buy a house down there, how do I do this? Because I've never bought a house before. I want to make sure everything's good. And every car I've ever bought, which has been like 3, every car I've ever bought, I've always bought it in cash because I don't want to have to take out the loan. The financing costs money, right? But when it comes to like I was looking over here the other day, if I can find it. There you go. I should just went to that property section. There's a few different types of properties over here as far as not properties, developments. Like they got some ones that have the ocean views, but they also have this place called Big Sky Ranch. I was thinking, do I want to live there? And you can see how it's by the water, but it's not like close to the water. So it's a whole different type of development. So I've been trying to do all that type of stuff, and I've been using dividends to kind of start building up a little bit of a pie there. But the dividends are only at the rate the dividends pay out, maybe I get paid every other month, maybe every 3 months, depending on which portfolio I'm working with when it comes to dividends. So it matches up. It's a little bit weird. But you get a lot over here for $59,000. Now I probably wouldn't want that lot because I want a lot with a waterfront view. Right? But if I go back over here to developments, ocean view lots, these are luxury homes. I want to buy a lot. I want to rent a house, but I want to buy a lot, if that makes sense. The most luxurious development, forget about luxury just a second. $485,000, right? But I just want the lot. They don't have the lots here. But I just want to build a house like this with a waterfront view, nice house. But I'm looking to buy the lot because I want to customize the house, because I want a special cigar room in there. I want an office for YouTube. I want the office to have all glass windows, so with some special glass windows with some electronic stuff. So when I'm streaming, you guys can see the water behind me, things of that nature. But like, I don't know, Hacienda Iguana. These places are all kind of spread out kind of around Nicaragua where I want to live. Like I want to live, where Where's San Juan del Sur? Costa Rica. I won't dig too deep into it, but basically, what is this? Okay, basically a little bit away from where I want to live. This looks like it's like pretty far away from where I want to live, actually. Yeah, San Juan del Sur is right there. It's like way up north, but as long as it's a beach, I don't tend to care too much. But you can see over here, you know, houses and stuff. All I want though is the lot. So second row lot, B3. No, that's way out of my price range. I don't want to do that. Golf course lot, 75,000. That's not too bad actually. $200,000 for a lot though. That is stupid. I gotta always remember this place is not. This is like I'm buying a lot here in freaking Seattle or Tacoma or something like that. Golf course lot. Yeah, I can get. No, that one's sold already. But what do you call? All I want to do is just, you know, I don't want to live in this area particularly, but these little areas over here, little hills and stuff for the development next to the golf course. This is the golf course I was looking at. It's a very small one, but you know, get a house over here, buy a lot. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. But it all comes back down to the dividends and stuff like that, and how you want to rearrange them. Change of character is bigger or better, or BOS is better. Watch the Smart Money Concepts video, goes into in-depth as far as how to use all that type of stuff. Break of structure is not as important as a change of character, if you ask me, but both are good opportunities because they still show breakdowns of certain things. Let's see. And hey, Be Supreme, some people don't need to be safe. Shake my hand for real. What do you call? I used to kind of like, you know, I'm African American. I'm African American, Mexican, English, Scottish, French, Italian. I'm a whole freaking bunch of stuff. A lot of African, a lot of Native American from American side over here. You know, like my dad's Mexican. I used to kind of think like, you know, maybe like, you know, my people, black people, like that's the culture I was brought up in. You know, like we'll become better over time as a community, and we'll kind of figure our shit out. We just don't do that. We really don't do that. It sucks. It's sad. It's sad as hell. But I ain't gonna pull them up. I'm gonna leave them behind because that's the best thing for me, right? Hey Mike, do you think altcoins are done rallying, and do you think ARB would be a good buy in a couple of days, weeks, months? Arbitrage. So I've sold off all my arbitrage. Or that's how you pronounce it. No, Arbitrum. No, I'm totally conflating two things. I know we're talking about the Ethereum one. I sold it around like $1.50, $1.59 or something like that. I'm done with it for now. I will be dollar cost averaging back into it the next time Bitcoin has what people feel as more of a scary moment, right? Where people are like, oh my God, Bitcoin's going down 3-4% in one day. That's where I'm going to really start dollar cost averaging back into it. To me, it seems to be a very popular one, and rightly so, because it actually has a real technology front. It actually has something very useful that can contribute to the economy. So I would say my best bet is to dollar cost average it once that big capitulation, not even like, you know, 4 or 5% Bitcoin one day, that scary moment happens. That's why I'd be looking to buy into that particularly. Let me figure out how to pronounce it. Arbitrum. I suck at my R's, as you guys know. Arbitrum. Yeah, that's what arbitrage. No, Arbitrum. Arbitrum. See, whatever. But yeah. Over time, it seems like something more I'd want to be dollar cost averaging it. One of you guys brought it to my attention a few weeks ago, so I loaded up on it because I was like, oh yeah, if this is anything to do with Ethereum, this will probably have a big bounce off because Ethereum guys have a lot of capital behind them. They love to kind of invest in this type of stuff. And then boom, we popped off a bit more than I'd sold off, and I think it even went higher here. Yeah, you know, it sold up. It's let's go to the daily chart. You know, it's way up here at 165. Remember, I sold off way over here, like 150s, right? It went up all the way to 176. Whoosh, look at that. Really good time there. You know, and I even sold off a good chunk of mine back over here at 125 too. So I think it was over here though, not over here, but yeah. I'm done with it. It can still move up higher, but I wanted to lock in some profits. I have 10% I have left from when I was buying it back over here. They're on like $1.20, something like that. It wasn't as low, but that's just for me to hold on to for the long term. When I dollar cost average here after that big capitulation moment, that's where I want to start buying. I want to see this thing fall all the way back down to 140s or less before I start buying back into it personally. But yeah, again, we'll wait and see how this all turns out. But I would still expect it to come back down a lot, and I would like to buy up a lot during that time when that happened. Excuse me. And hey, media, happy to see you back, man. So here. Can we see a pullback or a rebound of Tesla stock before pre-earning tomorrow, or yet or not? Probably not, because all the bad news that's been happening with Tesla has already been kind of occurring over the past few weeks. Like, they started to cut their prices again. They had like a recall thing again. Nothing has been really messing with them too much besides some slight pullbacks. As long as they see that the demand is strong, they should have a pop tomorrow, pop during earnings over the next few days. I haven't been looking into Tesla too much though, but like usually to me that's something you just want to hold and just let it sit. But I don't think there's any problems with them I've heard so far, besides just the normal stuff that every car manufacturer has to deal with. In my opinion, it's just overbought. So it would definitely be a 1 to 2 day trade. Just be watchful of the theta that comes up when you actually place that options trade there for you. And then Walder, Nicaragua is great, been twice. San Juan de Solo was fun. However, no more rum for the rest of my life, probably. What do you call it's definitely been interesting. Definitely been interesting going down there. I need to go down there again. My mom and them are going to Hawaii, and so I'm gonna be watching Loki and my sister's cat. What the heck happened here? Why is this like this? This is not the chart I just had on my screen. There we go. But yeah, I definitely need to go back there and have some more fun. I was looking like when I was looking at a whole bunch of stuff here, like let's just go through the houses, just properties. Don't have to go through developments. A maximum of I don't even want to spend that much money. Well, it's not even about money because I'm building it, right? But like my price range of what I want my house to be is somewhere around $500,000 at the end of the day. And that's including the lot, right? So maybe like $400,000. But I have no idea how the houses are built down there. I gotta hire somebody to do that. But when you look at some of these houses, like it really comes back to these little villa areas, or maybe that's an apartment. That's a commercial lot. Can't do that. That's a penthouse. I thought about this one, but I want some land for Loki. This one's kind of cool, but it's a little too far away from the ocean for me. But it's 5 acres south of town. That seemed pretty cool. Actually having some acreage. I don't know if I can find a house that I would actually like out here to show you guys, because I've showed you guys a few houses before. There's 2 acres. That seems kind of cool. But no. Here's one. I don't know. $349,000. This looks like it used to be a former hotel, so I'm not entirely sure if I'd be up for this. 6 bedrooms, 6 baths, and 2 independent caretaker quarters. This home has endless potential. Let's see. Well, okay, I would have to fix it up a little because I seem like the doors are more like the other style. But you get a nice little view of the water over there. Not the view of the water I particularly want. This is totally a hotel that they're trying to sell as a house. This is totally a hotel they are trying to sell as a house. But yeah, look at all those rooms are going. But you guys get my point. But yeah, just something like that where it's generally not looking so crazy. But to be frank, I don't really want to live in. I don't want to actually live in the downtown area of this city. Like right here, I don't actually want to live there. I just want to live so this is the San Juan del Sur. It's a beautiful little town, but I want to live over here or over here. I don't want to live right there. That golf course I showed you with you earlier, it's somewhere over here. If I just keep going up north, I'll probably run into it. I think this is the golf course, but it's older. Oh no, here it is. Never mind, my bad. But over here. So if I go over here and I go to this golf course, Google this one, they have a place that sells property. So I was looking at this and kind of seeing how much these houses are. Right? So they have expensive weddings and whatnot. But They have vacation rentals and villas, luxury real estate. Um, I sent out an email to them to figure out how much their lots cost and everything because I want to see. But I don't want to be in one of these houses where it's like this. I don't like these types of houses. Now they're nice houses. I don't think I can actually see a picture of them, but they're nice houses. Don't get me wrong. Everything about them is fine. But you see how they're like corded off like that. I kind of want to get a spot where like that's not in here but around where I can buy like 2 or 3 lots and just own them and just kind of have a mega property, to be frank with you. Um, so, but you know, I'll have to see because all these developments that you guys see around, you see how there's tons of extra space, lot there, lot there, lot there. If I could buy like 2 lots right here for like $80,000, I would do it. And figure out a way to make it work. Like, you know, house up here, stairs or a ramp to the pool on the bottom, plus like a garage work area. You get what I'm saying. But I had to figure out how to do all that. If I'm even allowed to do that. Maybe an expat can't buy more than one property down there, right? Maybe I think I'd be raising inflating the property values and stuff like that. And you go, I've seen a few clips of George building his dream house. Ooh, yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but I need to. I want to check it out because I know there's been a lot of complaints from a lot of the larger creators who have been saying that sponsorships are running dry because the economy is going kind of out of whack, and they're having trouble doing all their fun stuff, not meeting the bare meat bills, but you know maybe like to vacation 5 times a year. Now they can only vacation 2 times a year because they don't have as many sponsors and stuff like that. But what do you call it? Can be kind of funny. But yeah, I want to have my custom house, but my custom house is it's what I want. You know what I mean? Like that's why everybody does it. It's exactly what I want. And all the houses here, they're fine. I mean, a lot of the houses are perfectly fine. Some of these lots are fucking stupid expensive though. Like they're seeing the expats want to move there. But if I see all these, like I just told you, all these properties here, there's no incentive for me to pay like $100,000 for this lot if I can get the same lot over here or over here or over here for $50,000. I don't need to be that close to town. I really don't. All I want is Wi-Fi, and that's going to be coming from the satellites, not from anything over here, right? So again, I'm not too concerned. I thought about living on the lake too for a while, but then I was like, there's no real communities around the lake. I thought about living on the East Coast. No, not really many communities over there. See right here. Not really the type of area that I want to live in. I want that cove type of living where, you know, I'm above everything. But then, you know, there's Costa Rica, but that's might as well just live in America for the prices you're getting over here. And then I also looked at some prices in Panama. I still might move to Panama, but that's only if this is like such a hassle to have to deal with them. And right now I'm still kind of settled on Nicaragua. But Panama also seems like a very nice area. But I wouldn't live in Panama City. I would live like over here somewhere. There's like a whole bunch of nice places. Because I have one of my friends, he lives over here in Thailand. He says it's really, really nice over there. I have a friend that lives in Vietnam. He says it's very nice out there. I think people forget how some of these Asian towns, they've really developed over the past few years. Not all, but some. And so it's interesting to kind of see where different places to live. I thought about moving over here, but I don't know. It would feel weird being black in Asia. It just feels too weird. Heck, when I go to Washington D.C. to kind of, I haven't been to D.C. in forever. It's kind of turned bad. But last time I went to Washington D.C., all I remember is Chinese people taking pictures of me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It feels too weird. But yeah, so stuff like this, you know, see these little houses over here temporarily closed. I just want to see the pictures here. Muko Resort 5-star hotel. Let's go to this 5-star hotel and see what it's like. You know, get a little house like this. I would totally be fine with something like this. Nice little rooms, little play stuff. You know, perfectly fine with that. The beaches. Look at the beaches. Oh, gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Golf courses. I need to learn how to play golf a little bit better, but still, I would do it. That's what I'd be doing over there, pretty much, and then just doing YouTube stuff, running the business, hiring a staff, like much lower rates than I'd have to pay here in America, living a little bit happier. And then, of course, just kind of like being with Loki, just relaxing. A lot easier. You could possibly buy a little shed for that much here in LA. Exactly why I don't need to be living here in America when I want to buy a house. Because I thought about buying a house here for a while, a couple times. And there's properties out here in Washington that I think are actually adequate for me. It's just somehow that the Wi-Fi at those places and like the nature, like the outdoorsy spots, the Wi-Fi is worse than elsewhere. And on top of that, it's cold and rainy. So I want tropics. So it makes a lot, much more sense to not have to do that, right? Any thoughts on Sony? They do so much and now making chips and cars. For me, Sony is something more of a longer term play. Nothing else. I don't trade it too much, but for long term, yes. Sony makes a lot of the TV, Sony and LG, they make a lot of the same TV components that go to other TVs. So like you'll see, like this is LG example, but LG TVs, they provide a lot of the panels for other TVs like Hisense and stuff like that, right? So I think they're good for long-term holds, but I do think eventually you're probably going to see one of those companies get bought out by another corporation, which is kind of weird. Not anytime soon, but I do think Sony is going to be a good thing to hold on for the long term for. I don't really care about their gaming sector or anything like that. It's like a nice little boost. But as far as the components and what they're doing on the side, they are making those investments. And I think any place that's making chips and stuff like that, that's outside of Taiwan, that's a good place to be investing in right there. Have I thought about Puerto Rico residents since you don't want to pay taxes as a citizen but can't vote for the president? I thought about it, but it seems like if I go over here and I go to Puerto Rico, where are you? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Jesus. I don't look at this place all too often. I don't know why, but I always assume it's Jamaica. Let's see. All right, so here, I've thought about it. The real estate doesn't. Let me show you. Oh, I don't have a website of choice for this one. Point two homes is usually pretty good in South America. This is development, 6.5 million. Holy shit. Max 500,000. Again, I'm looking for a lot though. That's the thing. Yeah, like right here, right? Everything is just. It's not like this is like the best prices. Right, that's a pretty ugly looking home for $500,000. Over here, $153,000. That's I wouldn't buy that. Yeah, I don't want to pay $400,000 for this. For a rental, sure. I mean, like would I rent there to kind of have fun every now and again? Sure, but nothing here seems like it's worth the value. I know a guy that lives in Puerto Rico half the time, and he says his power goes out a lot. I don't know. It makes me kind of scared to live there. Let's see, like Puerto Rico power outage. Why Puerto Ricans are bracing for more blackouts, right? I don't want to deal with any of that crap. And, when I build a house here, I can put my own solar panels on it and everything, and everything's just a little bit cheaper. A lot easier than trying to deal with all that type of stuff. But the fact of not paying any taxes, that does sound very, very nice. That's what makes it so nice. But yeah, what do you call, it's much easier just to do this here with Nicaragua. I don't even have to pay if I pay taxes on crypto when I move down there, because I'm not going to be paying taxes to here anymore. Let's see. Ocean View home in town, no. Ooh, half acre looking over. See, this is, it's already been sold, but I would have loved this if it. Where's the lot though? Property? Oh, that's not too bad. I don't know if that's hilly enough there. Not really. The neighbors don't seem to have a nicer property, which kind of make me a little bit more worried. But you can see up there in that corner right there, that's more of like the areas I would want to live, but like maybe around there or around there if they build a development there. Nice little area over there with some pool or something. But yeah, so if I could, I want to just buy some area up there. But that's a lot I'd totally pay for. 200 square meters. Um, I don't know how to buy. I don't know how to like. There's no way to like property type land. It doesn't just show you land here. This website's kind of messed up. All the websites down there are kind of messed up with it. See, like this is a house. That's a lot. I don't know if that's probably a lot. Large lot in Big Sky Ranch. This one's probably not bad, but again, does it have a waterfront view? No. I want that view of the water every morning when I wake up. Every morning when I wake up. Every morning. Hey, thanks, Waldo. I might take you up on that because I know I need to start planning this stuff a little bit more earnest here now that I'm, waiting on my mom to get her kidneys. But after that, I'm pretty much gone. Sony is a huge player in music. People don't realize that they make a majority of great songs plus their Funimation. Oh yeah, I always forget about Funimation. I got the Sony headphones right here. X500 something. They're really good. Oh yeah, I always forget about the hurricanes in Puerto Rico. I totally forgot about that. Do you still get to be a citizen but don't pay taxes because you're not in the country? Yeah, so it's pretty much where how do I say this? How I structure myself, like how much do I live in one place versus the other? That's usually how it breaks down to. And if it comes down to it, I think you just have to claim. I asked my accountant about it. He said it should be fine. He says at the worst, I have to pay capital gains taxes back here. But since I don't technically have any income, he says you won't really be dealing with much stuff. But I should probably call him again about that because I told him to pretty much just wait until I for sure know that I'm moving down there. But yeah, most of my taxes would end up going to Nicaragua. But Nicaraguan taxes are a little bit different the way they're structured for stocks and stuff like that. And right now, with all this crypto stuff going on, I don't even know how Nicaragua categorizes cryptocurrency profits, right? So we'll see how that works out too. So there's a lot of stuff still to do before I move down there. Do I have to switch trading companies? No. Because I'd still technically be a United States citizen. I would still have access to the TD Ameritrades and stuff like that. And a lot of the exchanges I deal with, like a Fairdesk or a BitGet or a Binance, they'll be fine with me using a VPN. Nicaragua does not have the type of crypto enforcement that's going to be coming after me, nor would they care, right? They're not as regulatory overkill as we are here in the United States. They have no problems dealing with CZ and just dealing with them and stuff like that. They don't care about that type of stuff. As long as they're getting their cut, so to speak, they're usually fine. And remember, the majority of people that go down here are expats and stuff like that. They don't care. If I had a brick and mortar job, paying, that's where the taxes come in heavy. But when it comes to remember, when you're in a third world country or second tier country, whatever they call them, when you're in these types of countries, the wealthy have a lot more power in government, even more than our wealthy who already have a lot of power in government. They make their laws, their taxes just a little bit nicer, a little bit easier. If you know what I'm talking about. Is there any house that has a view of the city in Florida? A view of the city in Florida? Oh, I don't know. I none of the places I would be moving to would have a view of the city. Would have a view of Florida, I would think. All the places I'm looking forward to are kind of around, here, developments. This is a gated community. It looks like Pacific Coast. Yeah, here we go. Ocean View Acre. Now this is too far away from the ocean, but it's a very nice house. Lot, excuse me. Let me see. Sold. No, it's nestled in nature. That's too far away. I just wish they had a map with all the price of everything. It's so freaking annoying to deal with these types of companies because when you send them an email, they don't answer the email. They don't answer it at all. So it's very I don't understand how they deal with this type of stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna be using a bunch of different websites though. But let's go back over here very fast. Oh, I guess I gotta go back over to developments. Ocean View lots. That's $150,000 ocean view lot. I would not want to pay that. This house though, $950,000. That must be a really nice house though. 4,000 square feet. Oh my gosh. If it's just me and Loki, I really don't need more than 2,000 square feet. But if I could find a house for 3,000 square feet and build it there, I would definitely do that. Here's that golf course we were talking about. See, here's a luxury apartment there. Here's a house. This one was sold for $365,000. It looks like. I want these prices to come down a little bit. $579,000. You see how there's houses next to it? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I don't think there's a water. Well, let me see. Is there a waterfront view? Oh, there is a waterfront view. I might be able to settle with this, honestly. I might be. I could probably deal with it. I'd probably want a fence for the backyard, though. But it seems like the hill dips. I wanted it to be filled up with land, flattened off, so I have a wall there for Loki. Seems decent. This is definitely in the style of a vacation home, if you can see it, not really a long-term living associate thing. But I could do this. TV in the corner, that's really weird. I do like how they're emphasizing the view of the windows and stuff like that, though. I mean, I could live with this. Jesus. I cannot live with that. I need a shower. I kind of want a Japanese style shower, honestly. But that's fine. This other house over here, $500,000. This is probably more what I would like in my price range because I really don't want to go heavy. I want to be able to have excess capital just to go around and do stuff. Dude, where's the view of the water? If there's no view of the water, you better chop down those trees. Yeah, chop down. Like, what are you even moving there for if you don't get a view of the water? Yeah, that's a waste. That's a total waste. Chop down the trees. Chop down the trees. Turn it into the Amazon rainforest over there. But yeah, that type of, that's kind of what I'm looking to do. But the house will be totally customized, which is why I want to build a lot, but I want to buy like 2 lots so I can really customize the house. And if I buy 2 lots, they're going to have to be somewhere on same level ground, hopefully. Right? So we'll see. But okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, what I want you guys to focus on right now is Bitcoin is testing out the 20-day moving average. We want to be able to bounce above this for the rest of the day today, which is another 21 hours. If we start breaking down below this, this is going to cause some chaos here, okay? We do not want to break down here. We want to see the stock market continue to go sideways. As we've talked about, the NASDAQ is going sideways. Dow Jones going sideways, actually up even a little bit. And the SPY here kind of going up a little bit more, running up into resistance. It really hasn't run up into the resistance like the NASDAQ. But if the NASDAQ starts breaking down here below the 20-day moving average, that's going to cause some panic here, and that will bring Bitcoin most likely back down to the $27,000, $26,000 range. Bitcoin has had a really big pump up. It can easily have a really big pump down. All you kind of have to do is look at the history of Bitcoin and see, hey, after some nice pumps, we have really had some pretty big dumps, okay? So keep it, everything's fine for now. This, like, if you guys have long-term assets, there's no reason to even touch those right now. We're nowhere near all-time highs for this, next little cycle, regardless of when it starts. But if you guys are doing the swing trades and stuff, play it easy, have some fun with it, but just watch out to see what happens as far as this 20-day moving averages. If we start breaking down below there, that's when things start to really become a little bit more worrisome, okay? 4-hour chart, you're okay for now, but watch over those crossovers. It really, next 21 hours are going to be crucial, guys, okay? See you a bit later, and hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Thanks.